So if I could do a little housekeeping, we have begun to record our meetings and to post those meetings and make them available on the internet. And we're learning as we go. So one of the things that we learned at our last meeting was that we have some interference, and we think it's coming from our cell phones. So I would ask, first of all, that you mute your phones out of respect for the meeting and for each other. And then secondly, if you're speaking or if you're up here, either turn your phone off or put your phone on airplane mode so that we don't have that interference with the audio. I think it would be appreciated by all of those who are trying to view. If you're going to address the commission tonight, we're going to ask that you come to the podium so that your remarks can be heard and recorded. So if you will, keep that in mind as we go forward. I'm also going to ask that you guys give me a little latitude and also a little help tonight working through the agenda. I would like to shuffle or reorganize the order in which we had the meeting laid out. And I want to do that because of some of the business that we have to take care of. Is there any objection to as long as we handle everything, doing it in a different order? Great. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. So first thing that we need to do is we need to approve the agenda. But before we approve the agenda, I would ask, is there any additions or deletions that anybody has? Okay, so we don't have any additions and deletions at this time. I see on here that we have one person signed up for public comments. Tonight is going to be a little bit different. So if there's anyone in the audience that thinks that they might want to address the commission tonight, I'm going to give you the leeway outside of our normal rules to raise your hand now and be recognized to speak later in the public's comment section. Okay, we don't seem to have any. So what I'm going to ask for now is a resolution to approve the agenda as is.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the meetings from the minutes from the February 12th meeting?
I make a motion we approve the minutes, February the 12th.
I second.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion of the minutes of February 12th? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Has everyone had an opportunity to review the claims dated February 26th? And if so, could I get a motion to approve the claims?
I make a motion we approve the claims of February 26th.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're going to move on to the public's comment section. Kerry Calloway, you've got the mic.
Good evening. My name is Steve Whitman. I'm with Prima Corp, formerly Prima Corp. We were recently purchased by HDL. Reason for my being here tonight is to explain the fact that there is an alternative to a couple of different vendors in the state for sales and use tax collection administration for all the types of audits that we do, including hotel audits, sales and use tax audits, liquor audits, and then the other thing that we do is we provide a service for business license discovery and recovery. We've had several people come up to us in the past month and a half explaining that one of our competitors is not providing the services that they had provided in the past, and I've spent the past 2 weeks every day in meetings bringing on new business due to the fact that they're not getting the customer service that they need. On the way up here tonight, for example, I'm driving through Anniston. We do business in Anniston. And I had a conference call and my phone quit on me. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that's the first time I've ever been in a situation where I didn't have a phone. And I didn't have a way to get in touch with Carrie. I've been here before, and I thought I knew how to get here, but I wasn't sure. So I got to get a phone. So I come through town, come through Birmingham, go to the Verizon store, which I may have a different provider in the future. But anyway, I walk in. Now, I'm a guy that, Carrie does this as well. Every day, our lives are built around customer service, taking care of our customers. We're a small company. We cannot have a customer talking bad about us. If we do, we're finished. So we provide superior customer service, and you can ask any of our customers. We've never lost a customer, and you can ask any of our customers, and they'll all tell you the same thing. If you want a group of references, I'm not going to give you the good guys. I'm going to give you everybody, and they will all tell you the same thing. I go in this Verizon store, and I told the guy my problem. I said, I'm not sure where I'm going. I said, I can't get in touch with the person I need to talk to. I need my phone fixed. I need it fixed now. He goes, well, let me look at it. Well, and I told him, I said, I'm in a hurry. 5-10 minutes go by, and he's fumbling around, and finally he goes, it's your battery. I said, well, thank goodness. I said, so give me a battery. Well, we don't sell batteries here. I said, okay, what do you suggest I do? Well, maybe you need to use a different plug. I said, well, can I get one of those? Well, we don't sell those here. I said, okay. I said, what do you suggest I do? If I can't get it fixed tonight, what do I need to do? Can I bring it back here? We don't fix phones. So I was not a happy guy. And I'm different than most people, I'm assuming, because I can't deal with that, because this is what I do every day. So the point is, we'd like to give you guys a proposal to possibly do your audits, talk about your sales use tax collection administration. From a business license review standpoint, we did a review in Enterprise, Alabama at the same time our competitor was there. They found 4 unlicensed businesses. We found over 200 in the same period of time. Actually, they did it a year. We took 4 months to find the 200. So we provide superior customer service. From the standpoint of sales use tax collection administration, we have monthly conference calls with our customers, whereby which we go over all the information. We send them reports monthly. We send them an audit report monthly. They don't have to ask us, well, how are we doing on audits? Matter of fact, you guys will get tired of us, because we're going to call you every month, and we're going to sit down and we're going to go over this information. I understand that you have an opportunity to do some great things here in the city, but you need some money. We can help you get that money. Ask yourself this question. When was the last time your rates were updated in your ordinance, business license rates? Anybody know? Are the cost of machinery for your city going up? Cost of asphalt, all that stuff going up? Everything's going up. A rate increase on everything, and you hadn't created a rate increase for your business license. So we also do business license reviews and update of the rates. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
So thanks again for those words, and we would encourage you guys to follow up with Miss Sylvia specifically and let her know what you do and what you provide, because she would be the person that would advise us firstly on any changes that might need to be made. So we would encourage you to just contact her and work with her on that issue. So this is part of the agenda that I want to mix up a little bit, and I don't want to let the excitement of what we just did across the street fade away. So I'm going to ask Whitney, if you will, to come, and for those that didn't attend, act like we're starting over and tell the citizens of Chilton County with it. Miss Whitney's our economic developer, and she's got a couple of guys from the Economic Development Board and IDB here with her tonight. So we want to capture this for the county to see. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. So, gentlemen, did y'all have a good time over there?
We did.
Did you enjoy the cake?
We didn't get any, thank you.
What? I brought you cake.
Yes, we did.
I sent kids over here with cake.
Okay. Thank you.
We did.
I got some.
We did. Did you get a piece?
Yeah, he did. cake.
I'm
In fact, you got two.
gonna talk to the lady as I was going out the door, told her she gotta make sure.
They bought about 4 or 5 things on this.
Okay.
But no, I didn't.
Van
It's
told
okay.
me you wanted cake, and I said,
Yeah.
y'all send the cake over there while I was
Thank
cleaning
you,
up.
guys.
So anyway, Jimmy, that was all for you, and
Yes,
they all
thank
got
you.
it. And
Thank you, guys.
They reaped your benefit.
It's a joy serving with
So,
y'all.
yes, serving. We had a fantastic announcement that we just did, and we have had a lot of meetings and a lot of executive sessions. And for a lot of people, they thought it was the best kept secret in Chilton County, and it apparently was a really good kept secret in Chilton County. Now, all of Chilton County might have known about it, but outside the county, it appeared to be a pretty good kept secret. And so tonight, as the mayor said, we got to put a to sign, a to from on our gift, an Alpha, the Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Ag Foundation announced that they are coming to Chilton County in the city of Clanton off exit 212 to build their Alabama Farm Center at Alpha Ag Centennial Park. So it's the Alabama Farm Center at the Alpha Centennial Park. And what this center is going to encompass is 11 to 15 buildings. It will have a main exhibition hall that is similar to the concrete floors that we go into like BJCC. It'll have an equestrian arena. It will have a livestock arena and open air barns for sheep and cattle, livestock, and various shows that they will host there. Alpha will maintain and run the park, but we are in partnership with them. And when I say we, I say that means the city of Clanton and Chilton County. And it is a fantastic opportunity for us. The economic impact that it will mean for this county is almost to the point when you read it and you read it in the economic impact statements and you see the numbers come across, you stare at it and you go, I mean, that's a lot of money. And so that's what you say to yourself over and over again. That's a lot of money. The economic impact for the visitors, so an average place, this is one of 10 parks in the United States. So we will be very much a top priority for just about every single major show that comes through, not just in the livestock circuit, but also for RVs, arts and crafts shows, mistletoe markets. You'll have dog shows. You'll have 4-H ag centers, archery competitions, high school graduations, concerts. The sky is the limit. Over 900,000 people is the average attendance for these type of parks. The average amount of money that is spent is about $85 a person. So you're talking about just with your visitors, and this does not include that both your jobs, your indirect jobs, and that also includes your salaries. You're talking about $85 million that being pumped into the central Alabama economy. Now we, as the Chilton Countyans, want to make sure that we capture as much of that money as we possibly can. And what does that money mean? That money means that if you've got your taxes that are implemented here in the state and in the county, is you right now your 1 cent sales tax is $4.1 million. Imagine adding a 1 cent sales tax to $85 million and what that 1 cent is going to be worth. How that's going to improve your hospitals and how that's going to improve your education. How that's going to give you the benefit to help your roads. How that's going to benefit the bridges. We don't just have that problem here in Chilton County. We have it all over the state and all over the country. But what a great opportunity we have now to maximize on that. In addition to that, it's going to be 400 jobs. And that includes the jobs there on the actual park. In addition to that, the hospitality and commercial jobs. That doesn't include the quality of life that this brings. Now, the average job salary is about $17,000 to $18,000 for those that are in the amusement. That is not what the actual economic impact survey says. This is what the factors is, and I'm not going to get this far into economics, but that's what the multipliers use. That's your direct hire jobs. They're talking about the people that actually work the carnivals and work the livestock. The indirect jobs is $33,000 to $55,000, depending on what the job is. That is a tremendous amount of money for a lot of people. That is a huge economic impact and economic boom for here. We're not talking about high-skilled labor. We're talking about labor that is very easy to attain and jobs that are very easy for people to acquire. In addition to that, we are working with the 2-year systems to build a workforce development component of this park. And what that workforce development component is we have an opportunity with the facility and the acreage to give the state of Alabama a place that private companies and public institutions, educational institutions, can come and house and host workforce and career training. And what that means is that if a company has a new piece of equipment that they want their customers or they're trying to train on. Right now, it's very difficult for them in the state of Alabama to find a location to train on that equipment. This will give them the opportunity to host their clients from all over the country to come into Clanton, Alabama, stay there, work through the 1 to 2 week facility, and stay in the hotels that will be built near the facility. In addition to that, we're going to work on a career tech type component that's going to allow for workforce development. What workforce development we're talking about is heavy industrial maintenance, heavy industrial equipment, things that are in gaps. As you know, and I'm definitely a product of that with my age, is that a lot of our generation, which would be 45 and under, we have where our parents really pushed us to go to four-year institutions. And so you're starting to see a massive gap in the blue collar. And that is a huge, huge gap that we have got to fill. And the problem is that we don't have the training available for these students, and not just students, but also people transitioning in the workforce to be able to do that. This facility will be able to give us that opportunity. In addition to that, we're also going to work on an innovation component, an innovation both in workforce and in agriculture, a place for people to come and see products and test products that are available in agriculture. This is such a huge deal for this county. It is a huge deal for this state. Our sister states both have a similar park. Perry, Georgia's is much bigger than Jackson, Mississippi's. However, we now have reached a circuit, and they are beyond thrilled that we are now going to complete that circuit for shows. And what that does is it's going to, in 1990 when Perry, Georgia opened, they had 357,000 people go through their gates. By 1995, they were at 786,000 people. What that means for us is when we open our gates, we're going to complete a circuit. And when we complete a circuit, our numbers are going to jump. Just like the two counties north and south of us. When we start growing, it's not going to take us as long as it took Autauga and Shelby, because we're going to complete the circuit. And it's time that we complete the circuit. So I am so excited that y'all want to be a part of the team. I'm so excited that City Clanton that is going to be a part of the team. And our IDB, I've got two of the gentlemen behind me that wanted to speak tonight. And we are thrilled. And I am here to be so excited that I do not have to go in executive session, and I do not have to have people glare at me and think I'm trying to hide secrets, and that we can now share this and work on this project out in the open and grow it from both the park component, the commercial component, and the quality of life component, which is the most important component for our citizens of Chilton County. Gentlemen, do y'all have any questions?
You go there.
That about covers it.
Normal. Whitney pretty much covers
She
all
nailed
of
it.
it. But
You don't want to follow
for
that.
me, just as a citizen here in Chilton County, I want to tell you how proud I am of what you've done here to try to govern, and you know, the steps that you're going to have to take to make sure that this project is put forth, and we appreciate that, and just want to thank you all. So, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
I'd also I'm Robert Threlkeld, if you don't know who I am. A lot of people know my wife, Rebecca, who is the principal at the elementary school. I'd also like to thank you and also tell you I appreciate the things you do and the courage you have to stand up and say we need to make a difference. You've got some unique challenges, and it's very difficult to step out there and say we're going to ask you to spend money to make something better for our kids, because it's really about our kids. I'll tell you that I spent 20 years in the Navy, and from the time I left Auburn and got in the Navy, I spent a lot of time gone from Chilton County, and you come back, and it had not changed very much. And then we've lost some opportunities in the past, and one of them is where I work, and Jim Byard, former mayor of Prattville, got our company right across the county line in Autauga County. I'm going to blame him. So, but here's the difference. They saw an opportunity and they took advantage of it. So last year they got $1.6 million in Autauga County from my company, and then we paid businesses another $1.3 million. And so taking the courage and stepping out there and getting something like this into our county is going to make a huge economic impact. And the bottom line is it'll help our schools, it'll help our roads, it'll help everything that you guys always hear about. And you've got to spend that money to get that benefit. So appreciate all you do and hope that the community will get behind you and get behind what we're trying to do and support us. So thank you all for being here. Thanks for your time.
Thanks,
Thank
sir.
you, guys.
Do y'all have any more questions or comments or concerns or?
Thank you for what you've done. You've hit the ground running since you've been hired by the IDB board. I think the IDB board knocked a home run by hiring her and taking interest in our county and moving our county forward. I'm excited about it. I'm overwhelmed with excitement about it. I'm just glad we can let the cat out of the bag. It's been over, yes, and so thank you for what you do. And thank you for your she just don't just come up to this. She really works hard to do the research, to get the numbers. You know, I'm a numbers guy. I want to see the numbers. And she's done us a very good job, and thank y'all. I'd like to thank the IDB board also for everything you've done. Everybody just partnered in this.
One more number I wanted to give y'all is, you know, we have to, when you do companies, I'm just going to go back to what I really know which is industrial. When you're making widgets, you compare how that widget's going to use a multiplier. When you're doing economic impact studies, they go back and they pull out of a core group and they use a multiplier. So when we talk about Perry a lot, I'm not trying to use that as an example for anyone to say, well, that's just Perry. No, that is exactly what we're about to build here. So when you want to see what you can become, I can show you, which is sometimes difficult to do when you're trying to talk about industrial development and economic development. But I wanted to tell y'all what their impact. They opened their gates in 1990. In 2018, at the end of 2018, 22 million people had walked through those gates, with an impact to the state of look, I'm trying to make it Alabama already, state of Georgia at $2.3 billion. That is a tremendous amount of impact to a community and to a state. And that didn't just happen for Chilton County. That didn't just happen for Peach County, which is where Perry is. That happened for the entire state. So you are part of a huge thing. And when you just start wrapping your head around, when y'all are trying to do your numbers and do your budgets and you're thinking about money and how you're going to make all that work, when you have a lot more to pull from the pot, it makes fixing a lot of things a lot easier. So that is the number one thing. That's what my job is.
Would you say that our demographics mirror those of the Perry, Georgia area?
Yes, very much so.
So your expectations would be that we would be very similar to their numbers? We
would be very similar to their numbers. However, and Perry will admit to this, Perry built their park in 1990 as, I wouldn't call it an experiment, but it was 4 buildings. It wasn't as the Farmers Federation is projecting is to build out. Even if they don't build at full capacity, they will build a larger than 4 buildings. It has grown in stages, which is great for them. But because it grew in stages, they didn't deliberately plan their commercial and hospitality and entertainment and quality of life. We can learn from that mistake. And so from our demographics here, we are very close to Perry. And if we deliberately and really intentionally plan out exit 212, your impact will be probably double what Perry's will be, because they're on an island on their exit. They've got to go to another exit up to do the commercial, because this is what y'all are talking about. I mean, it's wonderful that we can allow for the kids to show cows, and I'm all for that, and trust me, I mean, that is. But your job is to make your quality of life for your county better. And that comes through your taxes. So my job is to figure out how you can maximize on that. And the one thing I saw over there is there's not an intentional how to make all of that work. There's a lot of downtime, so we're going to make sure we maximize on their downtime so that they can
where you can give people places to spend their money in between events.
Yes, and we have the pleasure of 145 running straight to downtown. So if we can figure out how to connect all that together. We were in Perry this past Friday, Monica Cooper and myself went, as well as Jim Byard and Connie Bainbridge and Janice Hull and Jana Cordell and her husband, and we went to go and see it. The livestock show was in Perry. Now, their livestock show has 42,000 people participating in the livestock show last year. The rodeo is in conjunction with that. That's another 15,000 people. And then they have this Tweens Tykes consignment sale. That is another 5,000 people that come through those. And that is a continuous cycle. That's 3 shows going on at one time. The one thing that we all noticed was, number one, there's only one concession guy, there's only one concession vendor. And so it's pretty much fair food. Well, after eating fair food for 3 days, you all know how you feel. And so people wanted to go somewhere else, but you've got to unhook your trailer, load all your stuff up to be able to go up to the next exit and Taco Bell, Chick-fil-A, whatever they were going to eat. A lot of them just didn't feel like doing that. You just imagine shoveling sawdust and dealing with cows or pigs or whatever they were showing all for 3 days. You're tired. You don't want to do that. So what a great opportunity it would be for us to figure out how to make a connectability for them to go. There were families riding bikes. There's RVs everywhere. They've got tailgates set up where now the Kroger and the Walmart over there probably do really well because that is what they do. But we all know how you have families. You know, after 3 days of camping, you're tired and you want just somebody else to cook your meal for you. So we need to figure out how to make all that connect. And we need to build parks, and we need to figure out some ways to really expand. Going and building the farm center is fantastic, but if we don't intentionally make that part of our community as a thread, y'all are not going to see the benefits that you truly could. You could see more benefits than Perry could if you do this intentionally. And that's a great opportunity we have here because there are other parks in this country and we can see where they've worked and where they haven't and really learn from that. So I'm excited about that.
Whitney, I had a friend of mine that's part of the Alabama Corridor Association, and he asked me as soon as I knew what was going to happen, I called him, and I told him this afternoon and told him what was going to happen at 5:30. Well, they just so happened they're having a meeting tonight. And they're jumping up and down. I mean, Corridor Association is one of the largest corridor associations in the state, and they're really excited about coming.
I'm so excited. The equine, the Farmers Federation's plan is to have their own equine arena. And they'll have in their actual barns are different setup than a normal livestock barn. So their plan is also to have an equine barn. But when you've looked through the shows, at least every month there's at least 6 to 7 different. And I am not a horse. I mean, I like to ride horses, but I'm not a horse person. I did not realize there were so many different types of horse shows. But that is one of their largest shows, their largest section of shows is the equine. So I am very excited about this to allow for people in this state, because we do have a large amount of people that do quarter horses and do racking and do the Western riding and the English. And so this will give them an opportunity to do shows at this facility, which we have a couple of places in the state, but nothing to this magnitude.
So Whitney, for those that weren't able to be at our event earlier tonight, you said that there would be 11 to 15 buildings. Would you talk about the enclosed, the arenas, the heated and cool arenas, and their size? So the arenas are, what they're projecting is a main exhibition hall, which is not actually an arena. It is a heated, air and cooled, where you would host a convention, a trade show. Concrete floors, pipe and drape, like air walls, that BJCC, RSA, y'all get that in your head for that. Then you'll have a equestrian arena, which is a circle arena. And in the circle arena, it will hold 3,000 people in that, and it will be heated and cooled. And then you will have a livestock arena, which is actually a rectangle arena. And I could be swapping them around. That one's 5,000, and it can sit on the floor 6,500. And then you will have a smaller arena that you can do dog shows, pig shows, purebred cow shows that are small, and you can do chickens. I was trying to think of the other, so many. And it will hold somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000. And those numbers on the actual seating they're still
planning out how that process worked, but if they emulate or they copy what is over in Perry, which is about those sizes, we were over there and it was 80 degrees, sun shining, and in those arenas it was actually really cool. And so you have the big fans in the barns. They have LED screens on both sides of the barn so you can see when your show class is up. We actually sat through the commercial classes for cattle, for beef cattle, and the average class size was 8 kids, and it was 17 classes. So it's a lot of kids showing animals. And at that show you have goats, sheep, pigs, dairy, and beef. And in beef you have commercial and pure. So, and for those that aren't very familiar with how livestock showing works, it's very similar to equine. You go and show, but your amount of money that you win in the show isn't always, that's not what you're there for. You're there because you're trying to show off your breeding ability. And so that your amount of money that you receive for your heifer to breed is where you make your money. And when you actually auction off, that's where you make your money. So you're looking at cows, $30,000, $60,000, $100,000 cows over there, or heifers. So it was pretty impressive. And to think that that's going to be here in the next couple of years that's pretty exciting.
Whitney, can we talk about the guy that Alpha has hired to run this thing and how important they put
Yes.
put in his lap?
So Brady Ragland, who is from San Antonio, Texas, has been hired as their beef commodity at this point in time, and he will transfer over to the livestock farm center. I don't know if he's going to be, I'm assuming he's going to be the executive director. They haven't exactly told me his title. Brady comes from San Antonio, Texas, and he runs the livestock show there. Now, the livestock show I saw in Perry, the one in Texas is 3 times that size. And it's not just because they claim they do everything better in Texas, but y'all know the Midwest is where all the cattle is. And so those shows there and the magnitude of those livestock shows are quite a little bit different than ours here. But Brady comes with a lot of experience, a lot of understanding. So Alpha has gone and they went and searched out. They found someone. So what that means for us is that they are 100% behind this project. This is their gift to the state of Alabama, and we are fortunate that we are going to be able to help give that gift and receive it and have it here. So I'm very excited about Brady. I haven't met him yet, but he starts in the middle of March.
Good deal. Thank you, ma'am.
And tonight, I forgot, for those that weren't here, we had 25 FFA kids in official dress from all over the county. And we asked their advisors if they would be interested in supporting the project and coming. And of course, it was just, my email was just hitting back immediately. And I was very excited about them being there because those children and my little girl who's 16 months old, those are the ones that are going to really reap the benefits of this. And that's what gets you really excited, because that's what we're all here for. We're here to leave the place a little bit better. And if we don't do that, then we're not doing our jobs. So that's going to make me really excited to see that.
Do you know how many exits are close to that facility?
The one in Perry, I was like, the one here? Hang on, let me count. The one in Perry, you have the actual Perry exit there that has 2 restaurants, a very good restaurant, by the way, that's very similar to Country Kitchen. And I talked to the lady that owned it, and she said that when they have big shows there that they have double. They have to order double to